How's it going, folks? Robbie. Welcome back to the channel for another tested and reviewed video on Forza Horizon 5. Today we're going to take a look at one of the most elegant cars from the 60s. This is the 67 Mercedes Benz 280SL. Now, these cars aren't built for outright speed or racing performance. Instead, it's built for style and comfort. The 280SL is the final evolution of the W113 series from Mercedes Benz. Production ran up to the early 70s. Over 20,000 of these cars were made. And look at it. You can see why. Elegant, incredibly pretty to look at. I do miss this era styling. So much more character to them. Cars these days just all starting to look the same. At least things back then, just nice, clean lines. Love the styling of the wheels. Just an incredibly pretty car. Now, the power in the 280SL is this naturally aspirated 2.8 litre inline six, producing 180 horsepower in game, which doesn't really sound like much, but considering what this car was built for, not for the racetrack, not for quarter mile drags, this is a Grand Tourer. It's all about style and comfort. The 280SL's got a 5-speed manual gearbox. Power goes to the rear wheels only. Overall, the car is fairly light, weighing about 1,400 kilograms. We'll get onto performance figures pretty soon. Suspension for the time was pretty advanced. Up front, you got double wishbones. In the rear, you got independent. Coil springs, anti-roll bars, all designed for a nice, smooth, comfy ride as you'd expect from a classic Mercedes-Benz car. Interior is nice and pretty as you'd expect, a bit minimalistic for the times, analog gauges, high quality materials, everything you'd expect from a classic car. Something you'd love to sit in while you go cruising down a beautiful country road on a sunny day. But today on Forza, we're going to see what this thing can do on the road, so brake testing first. 150 k's to 0, the old disc brakes do a fairly good job, 61 meters in the end. We did stop in the end, that final 10 meters, it felt like the car was just going to keep rolling, but we did pull up in the end, so good thing this car's nice and light. It would have rolled on a little bit further. So off to the drag strip, going to see what this thing can do down the line. 0 to 100 k's an hour, 12.1 seconds. Does the 0 to 161, which is 100 miles an hour, 23.6. Again, not built for speed. This is a Grand Tourer cruising car. Now over the 1 mile, you're looking at about 27 seconds. Again, it is not a fast car. Top speed, we'll get there eventually. We're still nearly at the 1 mile marker. And done. Now to get to the top speed, 180 horsepower. It's going to take a while, so let's quickly advance some time a little bit. After another minute or two of driving in a straight line, you're going to hit to about 205 kilometers an hour. It is not a fast car, but again, it was never designed to be a fast car. So with that in mind, we're going to bring it to the racetrack and see what this thing can do around my test track here on Event Lab Island. Overall, handling, I am quite surprised with this car. It is D-Class, so naturally you got to expect it to be fairly slow, but we looked at the brakes. They weren't great, but compared to some other D-Class cars, they're pretty good. They're disc brakes. Granted, they're a few decades old now, but they do work pretty well. Car's nice and light, 1,400 or so kilograms. It is quite agile in the corners. It's not a very long wheelbase, which is a bonus with the light weight. You can throw this thing around. It's got pretty good grip. Granted, it doesn't have much power, but that's a good thing because this is one of those, especially D-Class cars, they're really momentum cars. You don't want to be losing too much time in the corners. So if you get a good corner, you get good entry, you should have good exit. You're not going to worry about oversteer on the exits. You could get this thing to slide, like most rear-wheel drive cars, but you're really going to have to push this thing hard to get it to slide out. Braking's good. Turning is really, really good for this car. It's quite responsive. There is a little bit of body lead, especially in some of these corners coming up here behind Old Man's House. You're going to see it lean a bit, but it doesn't affect the car. A lot of old 60s cars, like American muscle cars, they lean quite a lot and it affects your line, and you do get an understeer effect problem, but not really this one. Overall, really, really good. And once you put on a little bit of power, it could be a fantastic little car. Don't know why I haven't driven this before. It's been sitting in my garage collecting dust for about 2-3 years, and I've just never driven it until a week or two ago for prepping for this video, and I've just had a blast driving it. Hopefully it comes back on Horizon, even through the slalom crew here. Just ignore the odd tires. You can see it controls its body weight and shifting it around pretty well, though. Give it hats off to Mercedes. This is a fairly old car, and the suspension, the setup and the way it controls and handles its weight is really good through the SSC. Again, never really had a problem. No oversteer problems with the back end, just gentle with the throttle, and you can keep this thing going quite well. It does make a really nice sound inside the cabin. The sound outside the cabin, not so much. Hopefully, again, if it comes back on Horizon 6, it gets fixed, like so many other cars, but overall, it's a good drive. So, end results. Obviously, it's not going to set the world on fire. Currently, it's in 9th spot. If it was a proper leaderboard, it would be right down the bottom, but it's pretty good. I enjoy driving it. If you got one in your garage, take it for a spin. She's quite pretty. Good thing on Horizon, we can do some upgrades and make it a little bit faster, but I don't think I'd be doing V12 swaps in this one. Just put on 100 horsepower, change some wheels up, get some better suspension. Actually, should be a nice little cruiser. Well, it took me a while to get around to it, but that is the Mercedes 280 SL, an incredibly pretty car. And again, like I said at the start, I wish we can go back to a time where we start making cars that look like this again. Wouldn't you want that in your garage more than some little plastic crap from whatever we get now? Just soulless. These things are just beautiful and they're always going to age. Just elegant motoring and engineering at its finest. Anyway, I'm Rob. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back later on this week with another tested reviewed, where we're taking a look at a mid-90s Ferrari that I quite like. So until then, see you later.